Every man will eventually lose the edge at one point in his life. He will experience a time of uncertainty, doubt and fear, and even guilt and shame. When a man loses his edge, he loses his sense of purpose and even his mission in his life. He's unfocused, he constantly procrastinates, and eventually sabotages his business and his relationships. I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs and CEOs with this problem, and there's one pattern that continues to show up constantly that causes a man to lose his edge. That pattern is waiting too long to ask for help. In my TEDx talk, I share how the statistics show that entrepreneurs and businessmen are 4 times more likely to fall into deep depression and even have suicidal thoughts compared to women. And less than 3% of men ask for help. That's because we've been conditioned to do this alone. We're conditioned to feel weak if we ask somebody else for help. We don't even like asking directions when we get lost in a gas station. What makes you think that we're gonna ask directions when we feel lost in life? We continue to pretend and hide that we have our shit together, but this only expands the problem. I know this because this happened to me. In the real estate crash of 2008, I lost millions of dollars in assets because I lost my edge. I was pretending that everything was fine and I refused to ask for help because I didn't want people to know what I was going through. I thought I was gonna figure things out on my own because my ego was bigger than my bank account, but eventually I had to face my reality. I remember having a tough conversation with my wife, coming home to tell her that I had failed in our business, that I couldn't afford to pay for a mortgage. I had to make a decision. Do I pay for a mortgage or do I pay for the office? At that moment, I was ready for the worst. I thought she was gonna leave me and take the kids and move in with her parents, but instead, she held me accountable. She said she would live under a bridge if she had to, because she knew it was not gonna be forever. Now go out there and fix it. And that put a fire inside of me to find a solution in the middle of chaos. I turned pain into fucking fuel. I was able to find a niche on the distressed market, and within months I was able to turn on my company and I made millions of dollars in the down market. But something started to happen. I began to worry about going out of business. Even though I was profitable in my company and the business was growing, people wanted to learn from me and know my strategies, I felt like a fraud. I was operating out of fear, not out of expansion. And I began to drink every night. Mainly because I was trying to stop this pain in my stomach, because at one point I thought I had cancer, but the doctor said it was only pain caused by stress. You know that pain that I'm talking about. That pain doesn't allow you to go to sleep. That pain that stresses you out, that pain that you feel inside your core when you're full of uncertainty, doubt, and fear. I used to drink half a bottle of tequila every single night just to go to sleep. I wake up the next day, put my suit on, put my tie on, and pretend that everything was fine. And the worst thing, that nobody knew what I was going through. Every single night I would drink half a bottle of tequila just to go to sleep and wake up the next morning like nothing happened. I looked at myself in the mirror and I couldn't recognize the man that I've become. I was overweight, I was overworked, I was stressed out, and I hardly spent any time with my family. I asked myself, is this it? Is this what entrepreneurship is? After all, I'm living the dream. I have a beautiful house, I have a beautiful wife, I have a beautiful family, I have a profitable business, but I feel lost inside. I'm full of fear, uncertainty, and anxiety. At that moment, I knew that something was deeply wrong. One morning, I woke up on the couch because I had finished a bottle of tequila in the living room and had passed out. And my son was looking down on me. He was only 5 years old and was asking my wife, what's wrong with Daddy? Is Daddy okay? That was my breaking point. That's the moment that I made a decision, I made a commitment to find out what's wrong with me and fix it. I didn't want my son to believe that his dad was broken. So I went on a journey of personal development and invested $500,000 to find out how can I stop feeling this way. What I've learned is that the edge is what separates those men who are struggling in life versus those men who are winning in life. And having the edge means having the energy, the determination to be guided to execute. Having the edge means having the energy to attract people and opportunities to your life to expand and grow and scale. Determination to be disciplined and not rely just on motivation, and to be guided by a higher purpose, a higher calling, a higher cause to execute at a higher level than most men. And the edge is not transferable. You can't buy the edge and you cannot give the edge. You can only discover your own code to the edge. Losing the edge almost cost me my marriage, almost cost me my business, and I know that was costing my life. That's what I made it my mission, to help men just like you find their code to the edge. Because I know what it's like to feel alone. I know what it's like to feel like you're the only one going through this. I know what it's like to sabotage your business and your marriage. Having the edge is a must for men who are achievers. Most men don't have the edge, and even those men who have the edge eventually will lose it if they don't know their code. And the next step is for you to take action and click on this link to find out the code to the edge. I promise you that in this video, you're gonna find out the 3 things that gives every man the edge. At the end of this video, you're gonna know whether you have the edge or not. If I've done this work right, I've already taken off 90% of the people that don't resonate with this message. I'm not talking to the 90% of the population, I'm talking to the 1% of men that know that they have the edge. And if that's you, click on this link because it's time to go to the next level.